your understanding, he feels like he's completely past the Tommy John. Is you're feeling like he is 100% good to go, no restrictions right now?
Yeah, same thing. No restrictions. He, came in yesterday and got a chance to talk to him. He was actually with the Rays when I was over there briefly. And actually, Michael Johns, our bench coach, was his manager in the Florida State League when he was with us. So it was good to see a familiar face. And he said he's ready to get out there right away. So no limitations, fully healthy, ready to go.
He basically was like, I can't believe I'm already being considered a veteran at this point in my career. But from what you've gotten to know about him, what do you know about his personality, leadership potential?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like you mentioned, he's just fired up to be here. He's a competitor, wants to be on the mound. He always wants the ball. Has battled some injuries and some frustrations throughout his career, but just somebody with really good stuff and has kind of that veteran type of demeanor and leadership, and has been there, done that. So, just excited to have him.
With someone like that, how do you judge at the end of the spring, whether he's ready to make this team or not? Because you see what you see out there in games, but he also does have a track record that maybe some other guys don't have in the big leagues.
Yeah, for sure. I think somebody that has done what he's done, kind of gives them not a leg up, but like you kind of go off of what they've done, right? Historically, guys that have been there and done that. So, want to make sure the velo is where he wants it to be, the sliders where he wants it to be. Health checks out with our medical group. All of those things kind of factor into that decision at the end of the spring.
How do you think that evaluation process has changed over even the last 5 years or so? I mean, you look up at the end of March, 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago, and a guy has an ERA, with a 1 that at the front of it, and he probably has a good chance of making a big league bullpen or something like that. But now you guys have so much more data and so many different ways of evaluating guys. How do you feel like that process maybe has evolved for you?
Yeah, I think the more information you can have, the better. It kind of helps, factor into that decision-making process. And every year we have more and more, like you're saying. I think it has evolved over time versus just going off of like a basic stat, right? You can kind of look at velocity stuff, just kind of expected numbers against hitters, things of that nature, and all that kind of bakes into our final decision when we leave camp.
Drew was saying one of the valuable things was that he knew Grayson Crawford from the Mets. When you were building out your staff, how important is that experience that your staff has from other organizations coming into this?
A ton. That's why we tried to first off, we want to get really good staff, but also having them come from a variety of different organizations was important because of those previous relationships, right? Like there's always, whether it be waiver claims, free agents, trades, a lot of our staff members have been on a variety of different teams, so we can kind of pull from when they had them as a player and kind of go off of that. So it just helps a ton, especially with Grayson being our director. Like it just added on to another staff member from another team where, you just get more background info.
What was your impression of CJ Abrams before you got the job, and what have you maybe learned about him in the time since that maybe was different, or what you had heard about him?
I mean, I knew he was a great player just from watching from the other side of the field, and just watching the way he plays the games. He's one of the best players in baseball, in my opinion. Has the potential to be. I told him a couple of days ago, I'm like, hey, you should be an all-star this year, and he's like, I know, that's my goal. So I think just pushing him, continue to push him. He came into camp early. He was here before position players had to report. He seems motivated. He's got the right head on his shoulders right now, and he's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. He's leading by example. So everything that I've seen from CJ so far, and it goes back to telling all of our players, and I've mentioned to you guys as well, like this is a clean slate, right? Like we want to understand these players based off how we have them, the time here, and CJ's been awesome.
Like McKenzie, his name came up in trade speculation this winter. Unlike McKenzie, he's here preparing for you guys. Have you picked up on anything from him about whether that has impacted him or whether he's paid attention to that kind of speculation?
No, and the only thing I would tell CJ is, like, the reason your name has come up because other teams want you, which is a good thing, right? Like, you don't really hear bad players' names come up in trade rumors. So whenever your name does come up, like, that's a good thing, right? Like, other teams want you, and that's just a testament to who CJ is as a player.
When you say he has the potential to be one of the best players in the league, what do you see from him that makes you say that?
All around. Like, he plays a premium position at shortstop. Watching him take ground balls, I'm sure you guys have, like, he catches everything. His throws are right on the money. I think now that we're having a chance to like really dive into his and show him his defensive numbers and kind of where we think we can improve him on that side of the ball. But then again, we can give him all the information that we have, which is a ton. At the end of the day, it's up to him to go out there and want to work on these things. And to his credit, he's every day he's playing his butt off and doing everything that we ask. And he's out there for early work. He wants more. Like, he wants to be great. He wants to be an all-star. He knows the capabilities he has, and just excited to have him on our team.
What are some of the areas he's putting in early work or extra work in this spring?
He's challenging himself. So offensively, he gets in the trajectory machine, which is really challenging. And he goes in there every morning and takes a bunch of at-bats off really good arms and challenges himself in that aspect. And then he's walking over to the half field and getting his defense in, working on shortstops. And it's a variety of things. It's his range. It's his glove work. It's how he's approaching the ball. It's his transfers. It's everything you can think of. And he wants it. Like, we're giving him a lot, and he wants all of it.
Players that have that sort of high-end talent, but they haven't been able to produce consistently at the big league level, what's the key to that? How does a player achieve, you're obviously not going to every single day have success, but how do you maximize that in terms of consistency as a player?
It's routine. It's attention to detail. It's being the same person day in and day out. Another thing that I spoke to these guys about was just, it's a really long season. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and you'll hear me say it over and over again. You're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. Like, this is a really hard game, and I think the best players in this game and in all sports, they're the same person day in and day out, regardless of if they go 0 for 4 or 4 for 4, regardless of if they make 2 web gem plays or if they make 2 errors. And I think that's one thing that we're trying to make sure CJ understands. And CJ's starting to understand like what it takes to be that type of player. He's been in the league now for a handful of years, and I think he's understanding like you got to be the same dude every day. The favorite question. Yes, so Ogasawara is going to go start against the Cardinals, and then Mr. Eder is going to start for us at home against the Astros.
What do you know about Jake so far?
Another one that I keep using this word too, he's hungry as well. Like, he knows he has the talent to be a really good pitcher in this league, and our pitching group's been outstanding with him, just kind of tapping into some, whether it's different pitches, different usage, but in terms of the person, like, he's a competitor. He knows he has a chance to be really good, and now it's just having that confidence to do it.
So, I haven't seen him pitch yet, but just he looks physically like Chris Sale.
If he ends up being Chris Sale, we'll be all right.
Right. What's your sense of like what he can be?
Yeah, I mean, left-handed pitcher on the mound that has, he pitched at Vanderbilt, right, coming out of a big program where he threw a lot of innings, and he pounds the strike zone, the stuff, just the mindset, the makeup. Like, he has all the attributes that I talk about where you're being the same person every day. Jake's the same person every day.
What will you look for from him to make the next step this season?
I think a lot of it's just the confidence on the mound, right? Like, trusting his stuff. That's the big thing. Like, when he attacks hitters and he's ahead in the count, that's the message we're getting across, not just to Jake, but all of our pitchers. And then believing in himself. So we want to see him on the mound just exuding confidence and believing in his abilities and going out there and executing.
And with Ogasawara, should we expect seeing anything different from him than last season? Did he add anything in this winter?
No, I think just anytime you have a chance, your second year in a new country, right? Like, when you come over that first time and it's a totally different lifestyle, you don't know anybody, everything's brand new. Now that he kind of is a little bit more comfortable and has his feet settled a bit, I think, we're hoping to see, him go out there and be himself and go compete.